Hello everybody, this is Warriors again, here to go over the new Brewmaster changes that have come during the last two patches that we have gotten. Blizzard decided to roll two out pretty quickly, and some major changes have come to the Brewmaster class, or spec rather. So let's dive right in. Now the first thing to keep in mind is that stagger now happens 100% of the time. There's no chance to stagger, you constantly stagger. The difference being is that instead of staggering, say, half of it, which it was originally, but it was a chance for it to happen, it now staggers every single time. Except 30% of the damage is the bit of damage that turns into a die. But this is, like I said, this is constant. And this is to essentially give us what would normally be armor, since it seems pretty clear that we will not be receiving any sort of armor bonus. This is how they plan to go about it. So, you're probably thinking, why would that be better than what it was originally? Well, here's the key thing. Blackout Kick has been changed again to reflect this. Now, Blackout Kick, which you can't read from here, I'll go find it. It's actually right here. And if you read it under Brewmaster Training, after you Blackout Kick, you gain Shuffle. Now, this is where Shuffle has been pushed to now. Increasing your parry chance by 30% and your stagger amount by an additional 20%. So, every time you keep your stagger buff up, which is brought on by Blackout Kick, it moves your stagger amount to that half and half range, where you take half the damage and half turns into a die. It also bumps up your parry chance, which if I can find it, might be on Gift of the Ox. No, it's not on Gift of the Ox. But if you, somewhere around in here, you'll find that our Mastery, which you'll see right here, now also increases it's your parry chance and your stagger amount, as opposed to what was originally how much you guarded and your stagger. So it's changed a bit. Now the idea here to replace armor is mainly you'll have a high avoidance rate, and anything that does get hit gets staggered. And if you get staggered, you'll have the ability to purify and brew it, which will remove all your staggered damage. They also added in essentially like a level system for how bad of a stagger it is. There's like a light, a medium, and a heavy stagger, and it changes colors as it gets high up. So it gives you a good idea of where you're going. But the main thing here is that we're going to be focused on parry instead of dodge due to our mastery. Every single bit is going to be staggered. And these two combined are mainly to be our block and armor all rolled into one. So if we don't get hit, we'll parry it. But if we don't parry it, then it's going to get rolled right into stagger. So it's a very interesting way about getting our armor block in. It's definitely different than anybody else, and it's real interesting if you ask me. It's going to be probably one of the most interesting ways to tank. So beyond from that, we've gotten a few extra changes. Nothing too huge, but it's worth noting. Kick Smash finally was fixed. It's now an 8-yard range, as opposed to where you had to be like literally on top of them to get it to work, which was really just a bug, but they fixed it. And it also hits 4 targets instead of 3. Little buff there. We have a new ability, a passive, that's called Gift of the Ox. Is you have a chance, every time you deal damage, to summon a healing sphere near you. This is bugged. It's not 1% chance, it's every time you attack. So, but for right now, there is like 10 trillion of those little orbs that spawn every time you're fighting, which makes it really broken, but it's interesting. We have Swift Reflexes, which every time you parry an attack, you will attack back, and it has a 1-second cooldown. So every time you get a parry, you'll do a little bit of damage back. This is to help with, mainly, I assume, AoE mobs and things of that. Another change, if I could find it, I believe it's on Stance of the Sturdy Ox, is that we now have an increase to our energy regeneration by 30%. Originally, I want to say that we were given a haste buff on Way of the Monk for two-handers. That's changed to attack speed, and that haste buff used to give us a higher amount of energy. However, they got rid of that when they changed it to attack speed, but we were really desperate for energy, so it got baked back into Stance of the Sturdy Ox. Next thing on the list, if I can find it, and oh yeah, let's get through this real quick. The Black Ox statue was given a new little look to it. You can see it's a bit more interesting. It's not just a rock. It's a little glowy thing. No, they all got new ones as far as I can tell. Spinning crane kick. This is a baseline change. Spinning crane kick no longer costs any chi. It's just an energy ability, and you can dodge and parry while you are spinning around like a maniac. Also, if you're wondering what the little guy next to me is, that is my spirit. I got the 87, so this is the Transcendence. He is my spirit, and you have a transfer ability that works a lot like, almost exactly like Warlock Portals. However, it doesn't work currently, so it's, you know, it's not that interesting until you're able to use it. And that just about covers everything. There's still more changes ahead, obviously, but for right now, this is what you get. You know, Mastery gives you parry and stagger amount changes. You stagger everything. Blackout Kick gives you stagger. Or I'm sorry, it gives you shuffle, which increases the amount that gets staggered and ups your parry chance by a lot. And this is our new armor. So I hope you all enjoy this video. This is an asshole that has decided to park in front of where I am recording. But I hope everybody enjoys the new changes, and monks are really shaping up to be very fun. It's definitely going to be a unique way of tanking. So, enjoy!